On the eve of the Top War, the Parallel World Big Exposure live broadcast suddenly arrived. Randomly exposed the life story of a character in a parallel world for comparison. World 15223. When Shanks died in Bucky's arms, there was no light in Bucky's eyes. He took off the gloves that had not been taken off for 20 years, and there was no need for a world without Shanks to exist. Atomic Fission. World Stripping. World number 4101. Auntie and Kaido have a love story, and this era is called Charlotte Kaido. World 9981. White-bearded, many children, many blessings, and having their own big family. More than 100 sons, each with the power of a young white beard. World 7. The 3 ASL generals of the Navy, together with all the Navy, invite the 5 old stars to die. 1013 World. Sauron caught Guyna and they fell in love. On that day, the two of them had a goal to protect each other, and their thoughts suddenly became clear. Their understanding suddenly opened up, and from then on, they began the era of swordsmen and knights. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 01. Parallel World Big Exposure Live Room opened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dad. Things are not going well. The Navy plans to publicly execute Ace at the headquarters of the Navy. This old dog from the Warring States period must have some ulterior motives. We must not sit idly by, kill Marinfando, save Ace. Yes. Save Ace. On the Mobidic, the captains of the white-bearded pirates were filled with anger. Just received the latest issue of the newspaper, the Navy announced loudly that Ace would be executed at the headquarters of the Navy. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that this is coming towards the Whitebeard pirates. Who doesn't know how much Whitebeard values this home? Now the Navy is going to publicly broadcast the execution of Fire Fist Ace to the world, which is completely a shameless conspiracy. If you don't pay attention to your white beard, then you will never lift your head again in this lifetime. If you come, that's good. You hit the nail on the head. At this moment roaming and rumbling suddenly, intense thunder rang out in the sky. Ding! The Parallel World Big Exposure Live broadcast room has opened. Ding! The movie-watching chat room is open, and relevant characters are being pulled. The cold electronic and mechanical sounds appear in everyone's mind. Boom, as if an asteroid had hit the ground hard, the whole world was shocked. A huge canopy suddenly hangs above the sky. Like the majesty of a deity, overlooking the world on the Mobidic. Whitebeard's eyes were filled with shock, his eyes slightly fixed, as he watched the huge light curtain suddenly appearing in the sky, his heart trembling. Such a vast and incomparable thing suddenly appeared in the sky with such helplessness. Even the psychological qualities of the 4 emperors cannot achieve calmness. Damn it! What is this thing? It seems like my mind was making a sound just now. Me too. It seems like we're talking about parallel worlds or something. It's the opening of the Parallel Worlds Big Exposure Live broadcast room, as well as the opening of the viewing chat room, and the relevant characters are being pulled. Bista had a good memory and immediately repeated what he had just heard. Baihuzi looked at his sons and said, "Did everyone hear that?" "Yes. I thought it was an illusion just now." "That's right, I heard it too." "Me too. Let me give it a try, who's up to you?" Whitebeard's face was serious, and he cut the Tsongyun in his hand onto the floor, then flipped his right fist with the power of shaking the fruit. Sky shock, piercing clouds. With a punch, the shaking force converged into an arrow-shaped shockwave, forcing it into the sky whoosh. This shockwave reaches above the sky, and then, passing through the huge canopy without causing any ripples. Naval headquarters. What was that sound just now? In the marshal's office, the Warring States period suddenly sat up from his seat in shock. His year-round military career has instilled in him a strong sense of vigilance, and he instantly opens up his dominance upon seeing and hearing it. But no abnormalities were found. "Marshal, did you also hear that?" Seeing the reaction of the Warring States period, Deputy Starkey quickly said. But before they could say anything more, Cap, who was eating scallops on the balcony, let out a strange cry. "Damn it! What's up in the sky?" The Warring States period rushed out with one step, eyes wide open. "What is this?" The light curtain above the sky was now adorned with golden characters, which were clearly the words that had just appeared in their minds. "As a naval marshal, I have a wide range of knowledge during the Warring States period." He immediately concluded that this was by no means something that a demon fruit-capable person could do. Quickly, contact other naval bases immediately. Within 10 minutes, I need to know if each naval branch base can also see this light curtain and hear the sound just now. Being calm in the face of danger was an advantage of the Warring States period, as he quickly issued one very reasonable order after another. Ding! The relevant characters have been pulled out and can speak freely in the chat room. The speeches will appear in the form of bullet comments on the sky. Other individuals who have not been pulled can speak freely on World Channel. During the viewing process, there will be random Q&A sessions. Chat room personnel can participate in the Q&A, each question and answer will reward 3 randomly selected respondents. There are many types of prizes, including but not limited to demon fruits, domineering gift packages, body art secrets, swordsmanship secrets, enhanced pills, cross-dimensional abilities, magical items, resurrection crystals, and so on. Please participate actively and win more prizes. As electronic and mechanical sounds echoed in everyone's minds, lines of text also emerged from the huge sky. At this moment, everyone's heads seemed to have come to a standstill watching movies. Q&A. Do you have any rewards? Devil fruit. A domineering gift package. Body technique secrets wait. Resurrected crystal. Can we resurrect the dead? Gerd D. Roger. Chat room. Hello, is anyone there? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 02. Prisoner shocked, Bucky is actually a hidden giant. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Sleeping trough. Roger. Suddenly seeing Roger's barrage on the sky, many people were stunned. Especially the powerhouses of the old era, they were too familiar with Roger's voice. It's not wrong, this is indeed Roger's voice. On the barrage, Munch D. Cap. Roger. Aren't you dead? Gol D. Roger. Yeah, Cap, what about you? What died? Munch D. Cap. Pooh. You bastard, curse me to death. Gol D. Roger. What? You're not dead yet. How can you talk here? Warring States period. What's so strange about this? The people who were dragged to the chat room just now should be able to speak here, right? And there's also the World Channel, where everyone has gone crazy. But it's you, Roger, how can someone who has been dead for more than 20 years suddenly be able to speak? Gol D. Roger. I've been dead for more than 20 years, haven't I? Edward Newgate. Gullah. Roger, shouldn't you have created this canopy? Gol D. Roger. Pull it down. I'm still looking confused myself. Sure G. I can prove that it wasn't Roger who did it. Because I also looked confused. Guanyue Yuda. Tom Mengbi. Lox D. Jibek. Add 1, not too confused. Pauliusolino. Woo, so many famous pirates and I crowded into a chat room, it's really scary. Kuzan. Are you an idiot? With a disdainful expression on your face, Sakaski. Just a group of dead people who have been eliminated by the times. Lox d. Jibek. What? Who is this thing called Sakaski? Have you never been beaten? Sakaski. Haha. The pirates who can poison me haven't been born yet. Under my fists, the only way for pirates is death. Lox d. Jibek. Damn it. I can't bear to watch such a arrogant idiot. If such a sky curtain really brings me back to life, I'll be the first to deal with this idiot. Sakaski. Fool. It's best for you to come back to life and have this great general send you to die again. Munch d. Cap. Hey, this boring topic is so boring, haven't you ever doubted the authenticity of this canopy? Gol d. Roger. Fake. I can even talk to a dead person to you now, how can you doubt the truth? Crane. Although this canopy is outrageous, the intelligence we just received from various branches of the Navy shows that it can indeed be seen in various parts of the world and has a connection with the canopy. At this moment, the sky curtain changed. Ding. Randomly selecting exposed characters. Ding. Selecting. Ding. Select the exposed character. Bucky. On the sky, the avatars of numerous characters seemed to spin wildly in a card pool, and when they stopped, Bucky's avatar was directly released. Promote the city, Bucky. Is it him? Red nose. At this moment, all the inmates looked at the guy who was locked with them in confusion. Although they are currently advancing into the city, after the appearance of the sky curtain, their gaze seems to possess some magical power to directly see the sky curtain through the walls of the advancing city. The sky curtain is so big that it's just to expose this seemingly inconspicuous prisoner in front of us. Bucky himself was also confused. Expose me. No, what do I have to expose? On the barrage, Gol d. Roger. Little Bucky. What? When Roger called Bucky with such a affectionate alternative name, the inmates were instantly surprised to see Bucky's gaze surge. Sleeping trough. Does this person actually know the Pirate King Roger? On the barrage, Shanks. Actually exposing Bucky. It's still my Bucky brothers who have face. Edward Newgate. Gullalala. It's actually his kid. This kid dared to fight me when he was still an intern. Gol d. Roger. Hello. Little Bucky, where are you? Come out and make a bubble. Sleeping slot. Horizontal groove. Promote the city. Bucky's fellow inmates are all foolish. Their gaze towards Bucky changed once again. From astonishment to terror. What do we see on the canopy? In the mouth of the fourth Emperor Shanks, he affectionately called Bucky his brother. The fourth Emperor Whitebeard personally admitted that Bucky had fought with him during his internship. Pirate King Roger is so affectionate towards Bucky. Hiss. Thinking of this, everyone was so shocked that they took a deep breath. Unexpectedly, there is a pirate giant hidden around us. For a moment, the prisoners were shivering. The memory fragments in my mind were running rapidly, anxiously searching for whether I had offended this giant before. Bucky, I used to speak a bit loudly, please don't mind, Master G. I want to be your little brother, even if I don't speak in secret. Captain, you will be my captain from now on. Prisoners crowded around Bucky, appearing both respectful and obedient. It was Bucky who woke up from his confusion. Things, how did it develop to this point? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 03. Locks. Cappudan killed me. How do I? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding. The exposure content has been loaded and will soon be compared for exposure. Ding. The white border on the left plays the life stories of characters from this world. Ding. The red border on the right plays the life stories of randomly selected characters from parallel worlds. The upcoming broadcast is about the life stories of Baki characters from this world. Countdown, 3, 2, 1, the huge canopy splits in half. The left side has a white border, and the right side has a red border. As the countdown ends, the screen with a white border on the coordinates begins to flicker continuously. The screen appears. On the turbulent sea, canyons and peaks reaching hundreds of meters stand tall on the island. The deafening sounds of fighting and screams filled every corner of the island, and the waves stirred up by the seawater were all blood red. The screen sweeps through various battlefields, including Roger, Kaido, Whitebeard, Auntie, Cap. None of them are the famous former. On the barrage, Warring States period. Damn it. This is Lox D. Gibek. This is the Valley of the Gods. Damn it, the place where I fell. Munch D. Carp. Hey, hey, hey. This picture is exactly the same as the situation at that time. Now I believe that the sky curtain is a real miracle. Ziyuan. The Battle of the Valley of God. Is it the battle in which Mr. Cap alone defeated the Rocks pirates? Additional plan. That's right. Mr. Cap was in his prime, killing the pirate Lox alone. It's too strong. Lox D. Gibek. What? Cap killed me alone. How come I don't know about this? Gol D. Roger. Ha ha ha. The flying squirrel said, is there any doubt about this? Mr. Cap destroyed the Rocks pirates and brought stability to the sea. This is something that the whole world knows. Lox D. Gibek. Nanny. Lie down, Cap, why are you so thick-skinned? Munch D. Cap. Ha ha ha. It's nothing to do with me, I'm only responsible for combat. The subsequent promotion was done by the Warring States period, Warring States period. Can't you be mute, Kapu? Lox D. Gibek. Okay, okay. It turns out to be this shameless thing from the Warring States period, no wonder. Damn it, Roger, you bastard was laughing there, right? If it weren't for you and Cap teaming up, at least 100 heavenly dragon people would have died at my hands. Gerd D. Roger. Hey hey hey, I was also deceived by Cap at that time. Munch D. Cap. Nonsense. I'm going for you. But you fooled me into taking this opportunity to eliminate Lox. Gerd D. Roger. No, it's you who fooled me. You even gave me some scallops to eat. Edward Newgate. Gulalalala. You don't have to argue anymore. Look at your battle from the sky. The battle situation in the Valley of God is extremely brutal everywhere. The heavenly dragon people of the Knights of God are hunting innocent civilians. All the big pirates who came with Rocks headed straight for the prize in the competition, except for Rocks who killed anyone he saw, whether it was a commoner or a dragon, as if he was just killing. Roger and Cap were originally fighting fiercely, but later on, for some reason, they teamed up to deal with Rocks. Once again, members of the Knights of the Gods blocked Rox's retreat, and the generation of heroes finally ended in hatred. World Channel, oh my goodness. It turns out that the great pirate Lox was defeated by Roger and Cap together. For so many years, the Navy has been promoting that Cap killed Rocks alone, but I didn't expect the truth to be like this. The Navy actually teamed up with pirates. What a joke. What's wrong with those heavenly dragon people? They don't wear air masks. Their combat power is too terrifying, especially the heavenly dragon person named Grim Gushen, who is simply a butcher. Yeah, looking at the people who died in his hands, it's definitely over 10,000. What evil has this country done? Why has it suffered such inhumane treatment? I saw Whitebeard, Auntie, Kaido, Golden Lion, Roger. So many terrifying beings gathered there, it's really the end of the world. Chat channel, Lox D. Gibek. It's fortunate that this canopy exposed the truth, otherwise I would have carried such a poor reputation even after I died. Ziyuan. The truth behind the Shenzhigu incident is surprisingly like this. With a smile, he said, "Bastard. You don't take human life seriously so much. The world government and navy are simply a complete mess. Although blind in both eyes, this canopy is magical, and the images played on it can actually be presented in Xiao's mind. Munch deep long, do you all see that? In the eyes of the World Legion, commoners and insects are no different. Just because of their momentary interest, they have turned an innocent country into a hunting ground for their hunting games. This decaying World Legion should collapse. Warring States period. Stop talking. Don't deceive people here. What is being played on this sky screen may not be true. Edward Newgate. Gulalalala. Warring States, are you fooling others? The things on the sky really can't be true anymore. Also, let's take a look at the role your navy played in this incident. In order to allow the Tianlong people to massacre civilians to their heart's content, your navy's warships could have surrounded the entire Valley of God. Crane. The navy went to catch the Lock's pirates. Sure Ji. Pooh. Chia ha ha ha. It's truly you, General Crane. You're really good at reversing black and white. Warring States period. What's reversing black and white? This is a trap specifically designed for the Rock's pirates. The fact proves that this plan was successful. Sleeping Slot. Seeing the shameless reconciliation between the Warring States period and General He, all the pirates who had participated in the Battle of God's Valley were completely taken aback. This Nima, can a person still have the audacity to this extent? The scene on the sky is still ongoing. After the fall of Locks, the battlefield of the Valley of God was completely chaotic, and the Roger pirates took the opportunity to steal a large amount of treasure and escape safely. After arriving in a safe sea area, the Roger pirates began counting the treasures they had seized. Captain, I found a baby in the treasure chest snatched from Tianlongman. Boss, I also found a baby in the treasure chest where money came from the Lock's ship. Watching Raleigh and Jabba each carrying a baby over, Roger's face suddenly surged with confusion. He lowered his head to look. I saw that these two babies each have their own characteristics. One is red hair, and the other is a red-nosed Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 04 Parallel Bucky. Even if you are enemies with the whole world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it. Maria, Fergalando Gringotts stared gloomily at the sky, with a fierce gaze in his eyes. There's no other reason. Because that red-haired baby is his biological son. Although he already knew that Shanks was his son, witnessing the situation with his own eyes now still made him uneasy. If Shanks is just a waste, but judging from his current achievements, this child has perfectly inherited his swordsmanship talent from Grim Saint. If it weren't for the ups and downs of the Valley of the Gods, Grim would never have doubted that the next leader of the Knights of the Gods would be none other than Shanks. The sky screen is still ongoing. The unexpected appearance of the red-haired boy and the red-nosed boy brought a different atmosphere of life to the ship of Roger pirates. Roger personally taught the two little ones, and they also formed deeper bonds in their daily competition with each other. When Bucky was 13 years old, Roger pirates and Whitebeard pirates went to war. Bucky and Shanks found Whitebeard together and wanted to remove his head from his neck. Although they were knocked away by Whitebeard's move, both of them demonstrated the belief of being strong. A few months later, the Roger pirates received the split fruit, and Bucky falsely claimed to be willing to eat it, deceiving the demon fruit. However, by chance, due to being frightened by Shanks, Bucky accidentally ate the split fruit and became a dry duck. Shanks. Aha! So it was my fault that made Bucky a capable person. No wonder since that day, every time I mention the devil fruit, Bucky has been at odds with me. Bucky, I'm really sorry. GOLD, Roger. Ha ha ha. What I'm saying. Bucky was just trying to scam away that demonic fruit, but then he ate it again. I thought he changed his mind later, but I didn't expect it was you, Shanks, who caused the trouble. Bucky. Ship. Captain. Did you know at that time that I was trying to scam away the devil's fruit? Spa Jabba. Isn't that nonsense? Your poor acting skills may have fooled Roger, Gold Roger. Ha ha ha. It's really nice to see your funny appearance again through this canopy, ah. Bucky's face turned red with a brush. He thought he had kept it a secret, but he didn't expect that the captain and his crew had always known he may not care about how others perceive him, but he cares a lot about Roger's attitude towards him. That's the captain he has always admired. Bucky. But you still gave me that demon fruit, why? He can't figure it out since you already know his scam, why give him the devil's fruit? Gold Roger. You've been nagging me since I was young, saying that you want to establish the strongest pirate group in the future. If you want to use the money from selling that demon fruit as startup capital, why don't I support you? Bucky. Captain. The heart was trembling fiercely, so Captain, he knows everything. When Bucky was 14 years old, the Roger pirates were about to arrive at Lafford. However, Bucky suddenly fell seriously ill, and Shanks gave up the opportunity to go to Lafford to take care of Bucky when Bucky was 15 years old, in the town of Logue in the East China Sea, under the execution platform of Roger. Bucky fell silent and suffered. Afterwards, Shanks invited Bucky to join his pirate group. However, when Bucky heard that Shanks had no intention of conquering the Great Route for the time being, he angrily refused Shanks' invitation. In the following 20 years, Bucky infiltrated the East China Sea and formed the Bucky Pirates, but in these 20 years, Bucky wasted his time and relied solely on his ability to split fruits to occupy a place in the weakest sea of the East China Sea. At this point in the light screen, the white-framed screen dimmed. Chat room, Gerd Roger. Ha. Why is it gone? Silba's Relly. Didn't this canopy say before that we were going to compare and expose Bucky from this world with Bucky from the parallel world? Now we should be playing Bucky from the parallel world, right? Gerd Roger. Oh. Can you actually see another little Bucky? This is really exciting. Shanks. Yeah, I don't know how Bucky from another world relates to me. Did he get on my boat? Bucky. Hey, don't be arrogant. Maybe you got on my boat. Shanks. That's not bad either. Bucky. Not a bad guy. Who wants to be with you? Gerd Roger. Ahahaha. You two still have such a harmonious relationship, Silba's Relly. Haha. As he spoke, there was a change in the sky. The screen with a red border on the right is up. Quickly, the screen appears. Parallel World. World 15223. The clear title caught everyone's eye. Crane. Number 15223. Is there tens of thousands of so-called parallel worlds? Zifa. It seems like a randomly selected parallel world, perhaps the number of parallel worlds far exceeds our imagination. Don Quixote de Flamenco. Furfurin. It seems very interesting. Gerd Roger. Don't make any noise, the scene is starting. In the Valley of God incident, Roger obtained two babies. Bucky and Shanks grew up on the Roger ship. The two of them showed strong beliefs in front of the Whitebeard. Bucky was influenced by Shanks and accidentally ate split fruits, so he held a grudge against Shanks. Shanks gave up going to Raftru to take care of sick Bucky. Rogue Town. After watching Roger's execution, Bucky and Shanks parted ways. Gold Roger. Is it my illusion? How do I feel like it's not much different from the video just now? Munch Cap. Haha. Be confident and remove the feeling. This is just like before. Edward Newgate. Did you put the wrong video and replay the previous one? Quinn. You can't say it's very similar. You can only say it's exactly the same. Gold Roger. Nanny. What is this compared to? In the crowd's roast, the screen continues. The port of Logue Town. A pirate ship was floating on the beach. and Shanks stood on the shore, cross-legged, looking at Bucky standing at the bow of the ship. "Are you really not with me? We've been together for so many years, and suddenly you're gone by our side. I'm not used to it." Bucky made a proud expression and raised his chin. "You know, the only person who can be my captain is that person." "So." Shanks sighed. He can understand Bucky's idea because he also has the same idea, take care. At this moment, even if there are countless emotions, they can only be turned into a farewell. "Hello, Shanks, you changed your mind." "No, I have a question for you." "Hey, what are you saying? If one day I die, will you avenge me?" "Nanny. Will it be?" "Of course I will. You are my best brother." "Do you guarantee it?" "I promise." With Shanks' assurance, Bucky's face showed a knowing smile. He raised his sails and set sail. Seeing Bucky walking away so decisively, Shanks quickly shouted, "Hey, hey, hey. Don't just ask me. What about you? If one day I'm killed by a powerful enemy, will you avenge me?" Shanks' words evoke memories of Bucky, over the past decade of mutual support, competition, and bickering in every dangerous battle, the two hands over their backs to each other. On the eve of going to Rafdru, he suddenly fell ill, and it was Shanks' meticulous care that brought him back from the gates of hell. Memories were so numerous that they eventually merged into a sincere smile on Bucky's face. "Yes." After speaking, Bucky turned around and ran towards the sea. "Even if you're enemies with the whole world," said the second half of the sentence in a soft voice that only you can hear. Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 05. Practice operations of parallel Baki. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chat room, Shanks. "Wow. Bucky, I'm so touched." "Bucky. Stupid Shanks, stop being sentimental. That's Bucky from a parallel world, not me." "Shanks. Don't pretend, you thought the same way when we parted ways, didn't you?" "Bucky. Are you crazy?" "Gold, Roger. Ha ha ha. Bucky, it's you who really cares about Shanks the most, Bucky." "Captain, I really didn't say that back then. Bucky from the parallel world is different from me here. What I thought was that the captain was so optimistic about Shanks becoming the next person to conquer the Great Route, but he said he didn't want to go for the time being, so I didn't want to talk to him anymore." Silba's Reli. I can see that the parallel world of Bucky starts to show differences from here. Bucky. Yes, Mr. Raleigh is right. After parting ways with Shanks, Bucky stopped at an island in the East China Sea. If it weren't for Shanks' unintentional mistake back then, I would have devoted all my energy to cultivating domineering energy like a captain now. But I am already a fruit splitter, and if I don't develop this demonic fruit well, it won't be worth the loss. Dominance is absolutely necessary, but I don't want to give up on fruit development. What should I do to have it all at the same time? Sitting quietly on the bluestone by the seaside, Bucky pondered to himself. Shanks. It seems I've caused a lot of harm to Bucky. Gold, Roger. Speaking of which, Bucky's talent is not ordinary. If he doesn't eat the devil's fruit and focuses on dominance with all his might, he may have a chance to surpass me. Joes. Is there a problem with this parallel Bucky's idea? How can we not have both fruit ability and dominance at the same time? There are not a few who have both demon fruit and dominance, right? Marco. You didn't understand parallel Bucky's idea. He's benchmarking against Roger, which means he wants to have both Roger's level of domineering power and the level of fruit development that matches that height. Jack. Nanny. That's not even possible. Unless it's our Kaido boss, who else can simultaneously cultivate dominance and fruit ability to the extreme? Samuel. Jack, you idiot. Don't forget my dad. In terms of domineering, Dad's domineering power is above Kaido, and in terms of fruit development, Dad's shaking fruit is also the strongest. Edward Newgate. Gullah. In fact, my main cultivation direction is still domineering. The development of Junjun fruit can be said to be incidental. Although I am also someone who wants face, I have to admit that it is almost impossible to achieve both domineering and fruit development at the same time. Kaido. That's right. I also major in domineering. Everyone understands that relying solely on fruit power cannot dominate the world. This world has its own rules. There are many strong people who do not eat fruits, and only domineering can surpass everything. Charlotte Lingling. Ha ha ha. If it weren't for powerful dominance as a trump card, who would dare to claim the title of emperor? Paulia Salino. Woo, I feel very embarrassed when you say that. Zifa. Yellow Ape, I have told you before that you rely too much on fruit abilities. Once you encounter top-tier experts, you will feel overwhelmed. Munch D. Cap. Putting too much energy on fruit development can indeed limit one's own limits. For example, like a little crane. Crane. Dot. Warring States period. Kapu, this idiot. Bucky by the seaside continued to ponder, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Day by day, Bucky occasionally picks a coconut to quench his thirst, sometimes cuts a fish with a flying knife to fill his hunger, and most of the rest of the time is spent thinking. A morning after more than 10 days, I thought of it. The figure who had been sitting by the seaside for a long time suddenly opened its eyes and a strong excitement surged on its face, brain-splitting. Recombine. As Bucky let out a low drink, his skull cracked open from within, like a crocodile opening its mouth and clearly seeing the beating of its brain. I saw this brain flower instantly collapse into countless brain cells, and then recombine into 4 brain flowers with the mobilization of fruit ability. The 4 brain flowers were repositioned, and Bucky's skull closed together. Munch D. Luffy. Wow. Can your brain still play like this? I really want to give it a try. Munch D. Cap. Son of a bitch. You finally showed up. It's not easy to divide your brain into 4 pieces, let Grandpa's iron fist of love help you. Munch D. Luffy. I don't want to play anymore. Nami. Ha ha ha. Don Quixote Domingo. Shacklockter. That's because you're ignorant and ignorant. Don Quixote de Flamenco. Oh. Can you talk about it? Shacklockter. I don't know either. Don Quixote Domingo. You're such an idiot, Charlotte Cricket. Is there anyone who understands to explain? Quinn. This part of the brain is Bega Punk's profession. Wensmock Gotzi. What are you saying? Where is Old Bay? Let's talk and see. Burger Punk. Parallel Baki's method is not wrong. Usually, when a person is doing something, only about 10% of brain cells can use it. If they are focused enough, this data can reach 15%. At most, it cannot reach 20%. Burger Punk. I just watched the process of his brain cell reorganization. He should have reorganized his brain cells into 4 independent work connections, so he can do 4 things simultaneously without interfering with each other. Shanks. So powerful. Bucky, give it a try and see if you can do it. Bucky. I'm already doing it. Promote the city. Bucky drew gourds and ladles, directly copying parallel Bucky's homework, quickly dividing his mind into 4 blocks. The next moment, his eyes burst out with brilliance. Sleeping slot. This feeling great. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 06. Parallel Bucky, Danger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the sky screen dividing his mind into four, Bucky began his cultivation. The first brain controls the torso and arms, while the second brain controls the hips and legs, allowing the two to engage in life and death battles and cultivate dominance. The third brain is dedicated to developing split fruits, while the fourth brain is used to identify and fill in gaps. 5 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Bucky has left the East China Sea and appeared in a tavern on the Great Passage. A newspaper. Bucky patted 100 Bailey on the bar. Here we go. The tavern owner stretched out his voice and delivered a newspaper to Bucky. After returning to the bar, the bartender on the side asked in confusion, "It's just a newspaper." "Boss, you personally delivered it and your face was full of smiles." "As for that." The tavern owner's face changed and he whispered, "Shut up. Don't look at that gentleman with a ponytail. If you provoke him, this tavern pirate won't be enough to die. Some people have their own strong aura, but some people have an introverted and low-key aura. The owner has a certain eye for opening a tavern in such a place." Bucky opened the newspaper and habitually searched for news about the red-headed pirates. Flipping to the third page, Bucky found the content he wanted to see. The bounty for the red-haired Shanks has gone up again. The avatar on the bounty has also been updated. Suddenly, Bucky's pupils narrowed and his gaze fell on Shanks' face in the photo. That's 3 claw marks running through the left eye. Silba's Reli. Parallel. Bucky doesn't look simple. Even through the sky, you can feel the difference and transformation between him and 5 years ago. Xia Chi. I think the hairstyle of little Bucky's ponytail is quite handsome. Spark Jabba. Haha. That's right. He's much more handsome than Bucky in our world. He's full of heroic spirit. Joel D. Roger. Why did Shanks have 3 claw marks on his face on the bounty? Who did it? Marshall D. Teach. I did it, thief. Ha ha ha. Bista. Tiki, you bastard. Joes. Damn it, Tiki, you finally appeared. Lackey. Tiki, we won't let you go. Joel D. Roger. What's going on? Shanks got a few scars on his face. What's the big reaction of your Whitebeard pirates? Shanks. The members of the Whitebeard pirates are not angry about me, but there are other things. Gerd D. Roger. Oh. It seems that Tiki has done a lot of bad things, right? Roger had a slight impression of Tick after going to war with the Whitebeard pirates before. Marshall D. Teach. Not worth mentioning, not worth mentioning. The screen changes, and 3 more years have passed. On an island in the New World, the second team of the Whitebeard pirates defeated a well-known pirate group, seized their treasures and ships, and was having a banquet and drinking here. Come on, drink. Drink. Although the second team currently does not have a captain, the combat effectiveness of this team is not poor, especially the experienced Tick, who was vaguely seen as the acting captain on the spot by everyone. Crunched at this moment, the door of the tavern opened. The sunlight outside the door will shine on people's figures on the floor, stretching for a long time. I'm looking for Tiki. The voice of the newcomer was calm, and he took a step forward with a bright red nose shining with a strange luster. As soon as these words were spoken, the tavern suddenly fell silent, and the pirate's eyes brushed towards Tiki. Is that you? You're the one on Roger's ship. The one inside. Tiki patted his head, frowning slightly, trying to recall the name of this guy, only to find that he seemed to have never really remembered his name. Bucky didn't mind, calmly introducing himself. I'm Bucky, Bucky's Bucky, Bucky's Bucky. Upon hearing this, Tiki raised a big bang and said, oh. Yes. So your name is Bucky. I remember your red nose, thief. Ha ha ha. Later, he asked in confusion, do you have anything to do with me? Bucky stood in place like a javelin, his gaze sharp as he looked at Tiki. 3 years ago, Shanks had 3 claw marks on his face. Do you know about this? Thief. Ha ha ha. A loud burst of laughter erupted from Tiki's wide-open teeth. He tore open a large piece of cherry pie and casually admitted, that's right, I did it. Shouldn't you be here to help him find a place? It's indeed him. 3 years ago, when Bucky saw that claw mark, He immediately thought of Tiki's weapon. Indeed, it's not a coincidence. The calm expression on his face gradually faded, replaced by a slow and intense coldness. It's not easy for others to open a tavern, let's come out and talk. Bucky abandoned this sentence and walked out. Wow. This is here to find fault. What a big breath. It's as if he would demolish this tavern with just one move. This kid really treats himself like a scallion. If Roger the Pirates were still here, we could still have some reservations. Now that Roger has been dead for many years, as an intern on Roger's ship, how dare he provoke our Whitebeard pirates? Tiki, go get him. Amidst the praise of a group of pirates, Tiki walked out holding a wine bottle in one hand and a cherry pie in the other. Shanks. Bucky has been looking for Tiki for so long, but he's just trying to avenge me. Bucky, I'm so moved I'm crying. Bucky. I've said it so many times, that's me in a parallel world, not this me. I'm too lazy to bother you to die. Marco. Although parallel Bucky is very loyal, it's not a rational move for him to challenge Tick. Jesus Bejas. A guy with a bounty of only over 10 million Baileys, not to mention his strength over a decade ago. He's actually causing trouble for Captain Tiki. This is a self-destructive act. G.O.L.D. Roger. More than 10 million Baileys. Little Bucky's bounty is only over 10 million Baileys. Silba's Relly. Yes, Bucky's bounty is not high. G.O.L.D. Roger. And what about this Tiki? Shanks. Tiki's bounty is not high either, but Saki, who received a bounty of over 700 million Baileys, died in his hands. He also defeated the bounty of over 500 million Baileys. Well, he's a natural ability person. I originally wanted to talk about Ace, but suddenly remembered the relationship between Ace and Roger. It was during this sensitive period that Shanks omitted Ace's name. G.O.L.D. Roger. What? Tiki and Little Bucky are so different in strength. Hey, parallel Bucky, don't be impulsive. Looking at the figure with tied hair walking out of the tavern on the sky again, Roger's heart mourned, it's over. Parallel Bucky, danger. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 07. The shock parallel Bucky brings to you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone came out of the tavern and arrived at the square outside. Such a big commotion immediately attracted more people to watch. Look, those people are from the second team of the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard is an emperor on the sea. In this era, there aren't many people who dare to provoke the Whitebeard pirates. Is this person alone facing the entire second team of the Whitebeard pirates? Hello. I remember him, his red nose is so unique. He seems to have been with Roger pirates. The melon-eating crowd each chose a good position, either sitting down or standing together in groups of 3 or 5, whispering, thief haha. Bucky brothers, why don't we sit down and have a drink together? Why do we have to be as disheveled as Shanks? Tiki threw the wine bottle in his hand towards Bucky, and then took out another bottle of rum from his crotch. In his opinion, there was no need to engage in this battle at all. He has great confidence in his own strength. Sorry, everything else is easy to say, but this is the only thing. Bucky grabbed the bottle and gently placed it on the ground. He lifted his head again, with a determined expression on his face, and casually uttered a few words. We can't discuss it. The mouth of the wine bottle that was about to be stuffed into his mouth stopped, and Tiki frowned. Do you not appreciate it? He looked at Bucky with a teasing expression on his face and said, all right. Since you think you're ugly, then I'll do it for you. At the moment when the words fell, Tiki stuffed the bottle cap back in and stuffed the bottle back into his pants. His fingers landed on the 3 daggers stuck on the waist of his pants. With a miso sound, the dagger is unsheathed. Tiki grinned, revealing 2 rows of ugly teeth, and instantly approached Bucky, holding 3 daggers straight towards Bucky's face. Upon seeing this, Bucky couldn't avoid it, and 3 daggers popped out between his fingers, piercing into Tiki's ribs on both sides. "Do you want to die with me?" Seeing and hearing that the dominant aura of the color caught Bucky's attack route, Tiki sneered, "You can't make it in time." His attack had an advantage over Bucky, so he had the initiative. With increased strength in his hand, 3 daggers instantly pierced Bucky's face. But in that moment, Tiki suddenly felt a sense of crisis he had never experienced before. That's a feeling of impending death in the next moment. He understood where this sense of crisis came from. That's the dagger from Bucky's left and right hands. According to normal circumstances, when Tiki's dagger pierces into Bucky's head, Bucky will instantly die and his arm movements will passively stop. But at this moment, Tiki's aura sensed that Bucky's attack trajectory and speed had not changed, and he came straight ahead. "Not good." Tiki shouted, and without hesitation, his right hand released 3 daggers. At the same time, he hastily exerted force on his feet, exerting a counter-push force on himself. However, it's too late in the battle of the strong. Even a small mistake can lead to serious consequences. Besides, Tiki just misjudged Bucky's death. Armed color. The black paint instantly covered both sides of Tiki's waist, forming a layer of hard armor. Dodging is too late, then resist hard. Tiki breathed a slight sigh of relief in his heart. With armed and domineering aura, it was still very safe. But this idea had just popped up in his mind, and a sharp pain erupted in his ribs. Pwai. Pwai. Although the 6 daggers encountered some resistance, they still rudely stabbed into Tiki's left and right abdomen respectively, blade in 7 points. On the remaining 3rd blade, you can clearly see that the black paint medium is covering it. Its richness surpasses Tiki. Chat room, Marshall D. Teach. Nanny. That Bucky's armed aura is stronger than mine. Silba's Relly. This pitch black level. Parallel. Bucky's armed colors have at least reached a higher level. At this point, he should only be in his early 20s, right? Spark Jabba. Hello, hello. Parallel. Bucky is much stronger than me of the same age. Shanks. Bucky's talent is really amazing. Tiki's dominance has been experienced by him. He is very certain that Tiki's two-tone dominance is no less than him. And the dominance of Bucky in the parallel world is stronger than that of Tiki. The meaning behind it is self-evident. Joel D. Roger. Waha. I'll just say it. If Bucky's talent can be developed, it will definitely surpass mine. Shurji. Hello, Roger, did you overlook a question? Is Bucky in the parallel world the same talent as Bucky in this world? Ben Beckman. From the comparison video, there is basically no difference between the 2 Buckys before the age of 15, indicating that their talents should be the same. Crane. Indeed. And as mentioned in the previous White Box video, Bucky abandoned his talent in the East China Sea for 20 years. However, Bucky in the parallel world not only did not neglect his talent, but also developed 4 times the cultivation path. It is reasonable to have such strong dominance. Warring States period. It's necessary to increase Bucky's bounty. It's better to focus on potential pirates like him. What? Suddenly seeing the barrage of the Warring States period, Bucky's whole body was not doing well. No, the shock that parallel Bucky has brought to you. What's the matter with me lying flat, Bucky? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 08, This is so domineering. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The sky screen is still ongoing. What? Tiki felt pain and let out a scream, forcefully pulling his body out of the dagger and suddenly retreating. Damn it, are you so domineering? Half squatting on the ground, Tiki looked at Bucky with a shocked expression. In the battle just now, his dagger stuck to Bucky's head but had no effect. Although he was surprised, he didn't have much. After all, The devil's fruit is diverse, and any kind of effect can occur, but when he saw that Bucky's armed aura was even stronger than him, he really couldn't accept it due to special physical reasons. Tiki never sleeps. When others sleep, he secretly cultivates. And his own talent is not bad, which leads to his domineering cultivation speed being much faster than others. Additionally, 10 years ago during the battle between Roger and Whitebeard pirates, Tiki remembered that Bucky and Shanks had not yet mastered their dominance. In just 10 years, a person who has not mastered dominance has become even stronger in his domineering cultivation than someone who doesn't need to sleep. Tiki's mentality has collapsed at this moment. Tiki, big brother. Tiki, how are you? The pirates of the Whitebeard pirates immediately gathered around Tiki, unable to watch their companions being killed by Bucky, who. Tiki took a deep breath, tore a cloth strap from his clothes and wrapped it around his waist a few times, tying it tightly. It was just a fatal injury, not enough to make him surrender. He looked at Bucky and said in a deep voice, "What do you want? Kill me." Backed by the Whitebeard pirates, Tiki doesn't believe Bucky dares to have such thoughts. After all, he can call a person with a white beard their father. It's easy to say anything about getting injured in a fight. If you want him to die, then you have to weigh the anger of the world's strongest man. Bucky reached out and pulled out the 3 daggers that had been stabbed into his head, calmly looking at Tiki. "You left 3 paw marks on Shanks' left eye. I'm really unhappy. Now, blinding your own eyes, turn the page on this matter." Speaking, Bucky threw Tiki's 3 daggers back and landed in front of him. Maki. The captain of the parallel world is so domineering. Kabachi. Yeah, when you throw this dagger, you put down the small talk. Damn it, Thai pants are spicy. Arita. They are 2 people who look exactly the same. Why does parallel Bucky look so manly? It's so fascinating. Jaiza's Bejas. Let Tikla blind his eyes. It's too arrogant. Tikla won't do it. La fight. Only fools would do that. Marshal D. Teach. Thief haha. Thief ha ha ha. Upon hearing Bucky say this, Tikaton's back teeth burst out laughing. Let me poke my eyes blind. What kind of intellectually disabled speech? He looked at Bucky jokingly and said, "Your eyes need to be used to see things, but this condition doesn't work. Don't misunderstand, I'm not discussing with you. If I can't do it, then die." At the moment when the words fell, a cold killing intent emanated from Bucky's body. All the pirates around turned pale. This killing intent made him feel shivering as Baki Chaotic walked over. This killing intent became even clearer, aggressive. Damn it. Red Nose. Don't be too arrogant. We are members of the Whitebeard pirates. That's right. If you dare to touch Brother Tiki, Whitebeard won't let you go. Even if you have some strength, can you be stronger than Whitebeard? No matter how strong you are. Whitebeard is the most powerful man in the world. If you dare to take another step forward, it will be seen as a provocation against the Whitebeard pirates. The pirates around Tiki showed fierce expressions and roared one after another. As members of the White-bearded pirates, these guys are not a good bunch. The life of licking blood with the blade all year round makes them not easily retreat even when facing powerful pirates. Listening to the threatening sounds around him, Bucky squinted his pupils slightly and impatiently uttered 3 words. "It's too noisy." With the utterance of these 3 words, a strong aura suddenly erupted from Bucky's body. Bucky's eyes were sharp, and the surrounding air seemed to solidify in this moment. Bang! At the moment when the momentum appeared, an uncontrollable circular spread out. The terrifying pressure instantly swept over all the crowd with a destructive force. Dong! 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 Countless heads intimately touched the ground, producing dense muffled sounds on the vast square. The view suddenly became wider. Sleeping slot. When this scene appeared, the onlookers couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. This is so domineering. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. In Chapter 09, even the white beard couldn't keep him, as I said. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chat room, Warring States period. Overlord and Domineering. Don Quixote Domingo. Shanks. Haha. I knew that Bucky's qualifications were definitely not bad. Bucky, did you see that? You also have a domineering aura. G.O.L.D. Roger. Wow, haha. Little Bucky is so amazing. Edward Newgate. This kid is really not an ordinary person. Charlotte Cricket. This guy has the same qualifications as Brother Katakuli. It's really enviable. Palyasolino. Woo, these two of them are hidden so deep, it's really scary, Sakaski. Surprisingly, he has a domineering talent. It seems that we must get rid of Bucky. Such a person cannot be given the opportunity to grow up. Bucky. Hey, hey, hey. That's parallel Bucky. It's not me. Don't be targeting me so easily. Bucky greeted all 18 generations of the ancestors of Tianmu from the bottom of his heart. It's amazing. I am a lowly and mediocre person, who provoked who with this special move. Let no one live anymore. G.O.L.D. Roger. Don't panic, little Bucky. You are a man with the qualifications of a king, and I believe you will transform. Spark Jabba. That's right. What kind of naval marshal, admiral, they're all stepping on their feet. I really Bucky looked at the words on the barrage, wanting to cry without tears. Thank you very much for raising me on the vast square. The crowd was like an avalanche, falling clean in this way. One person appears very abrupt. Marco touched his pineapple head and helplessly spread out his hand. What an unexpected talent. He didn't come with the second team, just because he happened to pass by on a business. He found a tavern here to drink, and then happened to hear the noise outside, so he came out to be a melon-eating crowd. Of course, since someone is going to kill Tiki, he will definitely not stand idly by. However, before he had a chance to take action, Bucky used this method to screen him out, which was quite embarrassing. He looked at Tiki and joked, "Tiki, you're a bit embarrassed, thief, ha ha ha." Marco, I also suffered from the loss of intelligence. The last time I met him, he was not a demon fruit ability person, otherwise I wouldn't have been seriously injured by him so easily. Tiki grinned. Marco walked up to Tik and did not immediately treat him. There is still an enemy in front of us. If we treat it now, it's equivalent to sending someone's head away. Marco looked at Bucky and smiled, saying, "Bucky, I just heard the reason why you and Tik were fighting. Now Tik is also injured, let's call it a day. If it continues, it won't be good for both of you." As the captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, Marco's elbow must have turned inward. If we were to deal with someone attacking the Whitebeard Pirates in our daily lives, Marco would definitely not talk too much nonsense and just go up and do it, but Tik's injury is quite serious now. The earlier the treatment, the better, and just now, Marco also saw Bucky's level of dominance, knowing that Bucky in front of him was not the little intern on Roger's ship back then. Even if he had all his firepower, he could not easily win. However, after he finished speaking, Bucky did not stop, but continued to walk towards Tiki's direction. Malcolm frowned and said, "Do you still want to fight?" "I'm not going to fight, I'm going to kill him. The chance to live has already been given to him, but he didn't want it. So, I'm going to kill him," Bucky said coldly as he walked. Now, Marco's face also turned cold. Although he just witnessed Bucky's level of armed dominance and domineering qualifications, he still has confidence in his own strength. He considered Tiki's situation, which is why he was good at persuading him, but Bucky not only didn't appreciate it, but also didn't even take him seriously. "My Marco also wants face." "Don't joke, Bucky. I'm here today, you can't possibly kill Tiki." Marco's body emitted a blue flame, and he pointed to the right with his hand. "Leave now, I can ignore it." Hee hee. Bucky's mouth curved slightly with a hint of coldness, and he stopped. I'm sure I'll kill Tiki today. Even the white beard can't keep him, I said it. On the vast square, Bucky issued a domineering declaration. The sound echoed and then rose into the sky. At this moment, it seems like he is the king of this world. Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Tells Whitebeard that if he wants revenge, he should rush. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Quiet, on the entire sky, a brief blank appeared directly in the barrage. I can't keep my white beard, I said it. What a domineering sentence. In this world, dare to say such things in front of the captain of the Whitebeard pirates. Who else is there? Promote the city. Bucky has completely declined. I in the parallel world, you pretend to be happy, but it's really hard for me. These accounts will all be counted on my head later. Bucky now only wants to have a hole leading to a parallel world. He can drill in chat room, Marco. The red nose of the parallel world is really arrogant, Joey. Yeah, this is simply challenging Dad's position as the strongest man. G.O.L.D. Roger. Waha. Whitebeard, I'll ask you, is my Bucky domineering or not? Edward Newgate. Gullah. I'm looking forward to that world. What consequences will Bucky have when I hear this? Saki. As for the consequences, if Parallel Baki solves Parallel Tick now, then I don't have to suffer from Parallel Tick's hands in the parallel world. Marco. Sachai. Bista. Sachai, it's really you. Edward Newgate. Sage, did you have a good time over there? As soon as Saki appeared, the members of the Whitebeard pirates directly booked the barrage. Saki. Dad, brothers. I was just brought in, and at first I thought it was just a dream. I didn't expect to really get in touch with you guys. Portkas D. Ace. The Sage brothers. I'm sorry for not being able to avenge you. Saki. Ace, it's not your turn to take responsibility for this matter. It's all because Tiki is too despicable. Marshall D. Teach. Thief. Hahaha. Saki, it's not all my fault, mainly because I can't resist the temptation of the dark fruit. Saki. Humph, don't make excuses for yourself. What I hate is not that you killed me, but that you broke Dad's rules and made him lose face. Edward Newgate. My son, what are the rules and regulations? Nothing is more important than your life. The barrage suddenly turned into the tea party scene of the Whitebeard pirates, but when Roger saw a certain name, his mind went crazy. This surname, this name, Gerd D. Roger. Cap, I saw someone. Munch D. Cap. That's what you think. Kapu feels guilty in his heart. Roger still doesn't know about the Navy's plan to publicly execute Ace. If he did, Cap would have no idea how to face it. Roger received Cap's affirmative answer and his heart immediately became excited. Okay. My son is still alive, and Kapu did not disappoint me. However, he also knew that his identity was special and he could never recognize Ace on the sky. That will only harm Ace. The sky screen is still ongoing after Bucky made bold remarks. Marco was also angry. Shame Tiki, it's okay humiliating Dad. That's absolutely not acceptable. The two immediately started fighting. Marco is like an impeccable shield, keeping Tick firmly behind him. However, Marco did not occupy the top position. It was only because of his strong fruit ability that he was able to defend with ease. Baki held 6 daggers in both hands, with a figure like a wind, constantly attacking Marco from various angles. Munch D. Luffy. Why doesn't Bucky split up? Nami. Stupid Luffy, they're keeping their cards. Roranoa Solon. Parallel Bucky's fruit ability is only slightly exposed, and the opponent probably doesn't know he can split yet. Nicole Robin. Yes, in combat, poor intelligence can have a significant impact. Your fruit ability is really abnormal. After a series of attacks, Baki successfully hit Marco several times, but in the face of the powerful healing ability of Undead Bird Blue Flame, it was equivalent to giving it away. Your fruit ability is not inferior, Marco said coldly. But I saw with my own eyes that Tiki's knife wouldn't work even if it penetrated your head. What fruit are you? Haha. I'm not stupid enough to take the initiative to reveal information about fruit abilities when others ask me. Bucky sneered and killed him again. The two of them sometimes separate, sometimes fight together. Time is passing. At some point, Marco caught a loophole in Baki and kicked him in the back. Shoo. Under this kick, Bucky flew straight out however, but the direction he shot was Tiki. Oh no. Marco kicked out and realized he had been deceived. He never expected that Bucky would use his body as bait, deliberately force him to kick, and then use his strength to force Tiki. He quickly shouted, Tiki, be careful. Puff. Bucky's mouth was bleeding, but there was a smile on his face. He instantly shot in front of Tiki, with 6 daggers in both hands piercing into Tiki's chest at the same time. Die for me. You're dreaming. Tiki moved his hands simultaneously and accurately grabbed Bucky's wrists. The blade of the dagger is less than 1 centimeter away from Tiki's chest. Thief, hahaha. Grasping Bucky's wrist firmly, Tiki grinned and said, you wouldn't think that just 2 cuts would make me lose my mobility, would you? Although I don't know how to hurt you at the moment, as long as I focus on defense, you won't hurt me at all. Thief, hahaha. At the same time, Marco also rushed from behind. In this situation, it seems that everything has been firmly grasped by Tiki, but the next moment, Pwai. Pwai. With the sound of sharp tools cutting open flesh and blood, Tiki's body suddenly jerked. Poof, a mouthful of blood spurted out of Tiki's mouth. Tiki. Marco's face changed dramatically and he exclaimed in surprise. Tiki widened his eyes and struggled to lower his head. When his gaze shifted to his chest, he saw 2 broken hands holding 6 daggers, completely piercing in. You. Tiki's mouth kept trembling as he looked at Bucky's broken hands, as if he understood Bucky's fruit power. Breaking his hand, he grabbed the dagger and pulled it out, reconnecting it to Bucky's wrist. Bucky lifted Tik up and threw it at Marco, who was rushing towards him from behind. Tiki. Marco hugged Tik tightly, and his bruises surged wildly. While rescuing Tiki, he turned his gaze to Bucky and remained vigilant. On the empty square, Bucky turned his back to the two of them and calmly said, Shanks is not aware of this. Tell Whitebeard, if you want revenge, come to me. After speaking, his figure disappeared at the end of the square. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.